everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the Disney Resort categories and how the amenities change as you go from bucket to bucket.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
So when I was a kid, staying at a Disney resort meant one thing, that you were paying big bucks. Because there were only three. You had the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian, which are still some of the most exclusive resorts on Disney property. Well, I like to think that Disney noticed that not everyone could stay and they wanted to open up the magic. But what I think happened was they saw their money going down the street to the Holiday Inn and they wanted to jump in on those other markets as well. So over the past 20 years, Disney has been building hotels like crazy. They're currently working on 2 new ones that are coming up within the next few years, and there's 27 resorts. So Disney makes it a little bit easier for us to understand the difference in amenities of these resorts by breaking them up into categories. So Disney's broken up into 3 categories. You have your value, your moderate, and deluxe. Technically, there's also a deluxe villa resort, but I'm going to lump those in with the deluxe resorts because they're, for the most part, located on the property of a deluxe resort and they share the similar amenities. So while there are technically 4, we're only going to be talking about the 3 today. So the first and the lowest category, or the budget category if you will, is the value resorts. And it's not like going to a budget hotel down the street. You're going to have a little bit nicer accommodations than you would at the motel by the beach or whatever you're whatever you think of when you think budget accommodations. They have incredible theming. They have these pop icons that are larger than life that kids absolutely love. They're small resorts, so it's very easy transportation wise. They have 1 bus stop. Your room isn't too far away from the main building. You can upgrade to a preferred room to be a little bit closer, and you are able to access the theme parks by bus, or Pop Century and Art of Animation will have access to the new Skyliner opening later this month. You also, in these rooms, they're pretty small. They're about 260 square feet, and you have 1 queen bed and 1 pull-down bed. So not all of the resorts have this quite yet. They're going through a full refurbishment. So about half of the value resorts are done. So you have a 50-50 shot right now of getting either 2 full beds or a queen bed and a pull down. They will all have the queen bed and the pull down by the time the renovations have been completed. In terms of dining, you have a quick service location, you have pizza delivery, and you have a pool bar that only serves drinks. You do not have snacks at your pool bar. And you have a feature pool, which has some fun activities. Usually all of the Disney resorts have those fun activities around the feature pool. And then you have what is called a quiet pool, so they are off into the sections, and splashing and loud play aren't really encouraged. So that's why they're kind of endearingly called quiet pools. And so you have a few of those as well, but the feature pool is going to have your water features and pop icons and things like that. So those are the value resorts. The next category up is moderate, which is where I typically stay because I like the little bit of added space. I also like the more relaxed atmosphere that you'll find at the moderate resorts, and I love their price point. They're perfect for the amenities you get. The price range is really nice. So you're gonna get more space. You're gonna get more elevated theming, so you're not gonna have those big bright pop icons. You're gonna have destination theming, which you'll see through the rest of the resorts, and the landscaping is incredible. You feel like you've escaped someplace other than Central Florida. You have access to the theme parks either by bus or Skyliner. You also have the boat. If you're staying at the Port Orleans, you have the boat to Disney Springs, which is a really, really cool feature, especially if you're on an adult-only trip. That's a great option for you. Again, the rooms are bigger. You have about 314 square feet and you have 2 queen beds. You also have a double vanity. I know that sounds like a little thing, but that is huge when you're sharing a room with a few different people. You can book a king bed in these resorts. So in the value resorts, you have to request a king bed. It's not guaranteed, but once you hit moderate and deluxe, you can. It's a bookable category. In terms of dining, you have your food court. You have a lounge with alcohol and some bar snacks. Your pool bar does offer some snacks or sandwiches. You have pizza delivery, and most of the resorts also offer at least one table service restaurant. You also have added recreation options here. Depending on the resort you pick, you can go fishing or rent a Surrey bike or take a cruise. A pirate cruise leaves from the Caribbean Beach Resort. You have, again, the feature pools and the quiet pools. There's usually a quiet pool per section. These resorts are much bigger, much more spread out, and typically have an internal bus system to get you back up to the front of the resort, and you have to make multiple bus stops before getting to the park, but all within your resort. Again, I love them. They think they are all amazing. I don't have a favorite moderate resort. I love to stay at all of them. Then you move up to the deluxe resorts, which the biggest added benefit of the deluxe resorts is the location. You can walk to some of the parks from some of the resorts. You have the monorail, you have the boat, you have the buses, you have any way you can think of getting someplace, you have that from the deluxe resort. The only deluxe resort that does not offer any additional transportation other than busing is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. But you get to look out your window and look at giraffes, so who cares about the transportation at that point? They are immersive, but they are elegant, and you have added amenities. Your linens are a little more upgraded. You get better quality shampoos and little things like that. Definitely not the reason to decide to stay in a deluxe resort, but just little added things like that. You have your destination theming again with little Disney touches, of course. You have rooms that span from 344 to 422 square feet. So if you are traveling with 4 adults, those rooms are definitely going to be a little bit more comfortable for you. Some also have a Pullman or a sleeper sofa that you can add a 5th person to the room. A few of the moderates do that as well. They just have the small Pullman, but the deluxes have a sleeper sofa, which is a little bit more suitable for an adult. The Pullman beds at the 2 moderate resorts that offer them are very small and really best for children. I'd say 12 and under. The recreation options here explode. You have water sports, you have spas, health clubs, tennis courts, volleyball courts. Anything that you could ever think that you would want in a resort is probably offered at least one of the deluxe resorts. Not all of them have all of them, but it's important to make sure that if something is important to you, you check and see if your resort has it. I do have a really great ultimate guide that I will link to here that has a great comparison chart based on the recreation and dining possibilities at each individual resort. So definitely check that out. It will be really helpful in helping you decide which resort to stay at for your family. I did not talk about dining at the deluxe resorts. You have a quick service location. Sometimes it's really small. You're not going to have the food court styles like you do at the values and moderates. Some are just quick grab and goes, but most of them have really nice quick service locations. Captain Cook's at the Polynesian is worth going there even if you're not staying there. Really, really good. You have a table service. Most of them have a signature dining experience as well. So that's going to be a 2-credit experience on the dining plan, and it's just going to give you more of an elevated fine dining atmosphere. Do check to make sure that they don't have a dress code though. Most are are okay with theme park casual, but some don't allow tank tops or flip-flops, things like that. So definitely check those. Most of them also have character dining, which is so much fun, and you have bars and lounges added here as well. Again, I'm going to call out the Polynesian because Trader Sam's is a destination. It is such a cool bar. It's an interactive bar with cool drinks and really cool theming. So that's a breakdown of the categories of the Disney resorts. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you want a little bit more guidance, make sure you download that guide. I'm happy to talk through any questions you have. Happy to help you choose what's best for your family. Just schedule a call with me by heading over to my website. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really hope that I inspired you to explore the world together.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.